Obviously, look, never been to this big city firm before. I've got my bias and prejudice towards what I think a senior partner lawyer is going to be like. I've naturally had my wall up, suspicious, keeping an eye out, super vigilant, looking for the bullshit where I could find it. To my surprise, it was a really deep encounter. I was able to share, you listened, you shared, I listened. What I thought would have been maybe just a hello, you were able to visit Baker McKenzie, maybe you can make a LinkedIn post about that now, turned into me having a mentor, having a friend that I really, really respect, admire, and always enjoy being around, outside of the legal space, just in terms of being a person.
I loved the fact you were so curious about me because it was really authentic. You were basically sussing me out in terms of what my relationship would be with you, what my sort of drivers behind everything was. I absolutely loved it. And I do remember it. I remember it being a real it was sort of a bit tentative to start with. And then it got massively deep and massively meaningful in terms of sharing things.
Yeah.
Overriding feeling coming out of that meeting was feeling inspired. You were absolutely inspirational to me. And I think in terms of your story, in terms of how you'd sort of come through the challenges you'd had, but importantly, the fact you were such a self-starter, that's what I loved about it, was that you were coming to me, having gone through doing so much work yourself to get to the place you were, and you were so eloquent about it, you were so honest about it.
So just to see how our relationship's grown, how close we've become, and how much, I think the key word for me today is trust. How much I've actually been able to trust you, considering I was totally against that in the beginning and really suspicious, obviously, is a great surprise, but also a great delight too.
And absolutely, likewise. I think my driver behind it, I knew I wanted to do something. I didn't know what that was. I don't have kids myself, and so actually having the privilege of being able to have those conversations and sort of try and impart something is great. But it's definitely a two-way street. The joy that I get from our interactions, from hearing about you when you were sending all the photographs, when you were doing your traveling, is brilliant. I just absolutely loved it. It's really the fulfillment and the sort of the sense of the relationship that we've got together. Absolutely love it. And you were a complete superstar at my 50th.
I think it's unimaginable because everything we do so far, I didn't imagine it to have the impact that it would, and I didn't imagine it to manifest the way that it has. Lord knows, you may be the reason why I actually end up going into that political arena and, becoming a bigger campaigner for maybe care leavers or, the rights of the fewer or the majority that are not as privileged. And I would love to do something like that, but, there's a lot of steps in between. But I'm excited, and these things look a lot more realistic now than they ever have in my entire life. So I'm excited for the future, my future, your future, our future.